Hi all, my name is Isabella Corinta and I'm glad to welcome you to a discussion of our paper with my co-author Giordano Cabral. I will begin by describing the theoretical research behind our work, which includes improvisation in musical apprenticeship through enactivism and the Forest model. The enactivism can be defined, broadly speaking, as the four E's, which describe the mind as fundamentally embodied, embedded, extended, and inactive, and have characteristics in common that led them to be grouped in this way. This figure represents the flow of information between the source of the sensory-motor gestural feedback within an enactive interface, which allows the transmission of knowledge obtained through action. The Forest model within DMIs is not only related to the feedback between action and perception. It can provide music learners with a profound perception sensibility that can shift the way they get into listening, improvising, performing, and any activity that involves aural sensibility. From an epistemological perspective of high-dimensional space, Thor Magnusson investigates the epistemic nature of digital musical instruments within 8 axes. The improvisation axis indicates the degree to which the instrument lends itself to free improvisation, how responsive it is, how open for change in real-time performance, and how quickly it can be adapted to those. Consider the improvisation axis and the DMI control input addressed through bodily motion. We propose an overview of digital musical instruments within the Forest model, in order to provide novel insights that may help inspire a richer understanding of what musical learning through improvisation within DMIs entails. The following aspects concerning the Forest model are described. Embodied. An embodied account describes music perception and musical action as not divorced. An intuition for melodic, harmonic, and rhythmic involving more than the brain. Embedded represents the amount of music possibilities explored and developed in a social cultural world. As our subject is music improvisation in a subjective work, we suggest a reflection upon the West and the East cultural differences. Enactive represents how the engagement with the instrument affects the learning curve. Extended specifies how our creative possibilities can be enhanced through interactions. In this section, we illustrate how 2 examples of digital musical instruments can be seen through the lenses of the Forest model. We present Amigo and MI Blues. Both DMIs guide the users by the visual feedback of an illuminating bar mounted over the keyboard. Amigo is a digital musical instrument to learn to improvise melodies through note suggestions. Amigo can be considered an embodied instrument since it promotes continuous integration of sensory-motor activity. It cannot be thought of as an embedded tool since it is related only to Western music. It's a DMI with enactive properties since it offers capabilities in action for the learning music process through improvisation and music theory contents. Lastly, it has extended aspects since it's an intuitive tool for the creation of musical structures. MI Blues fosters a musical understanding and expressiveness of melodic improvisation within the blues jazz idiom without music theory knowledge. The major novelty of MI Blues, in comparison to existing illuminating keyboards, is the use of a generative system which provides harmonic sequences on the fly, to which multiple solutions for note selection are provided for melodic creation. We consider MI Blues an embodied system since it promotes intense interactive feedback between action and perception. The DMI is focused on the blues jazz idiom, and it can be situated within a world in which it interrelates. But once it is focused on Western music context, in our subjective analysis, it is not embedded. The generative jazz model provides a way of interacting for learning to improvise guided by the system. Therefore, we hold an opinion that is an active system. As the system stimulates adequate emotion and creative potential, we may consider it as an extended DMI. Toward the aim of a meaningful music pedagogy through the Forest model within DMIs, we suggest designers and musicians are reflections upon the following questions. Embodied. How can the sonic musical result of the DMI developed from the body-mind movement provide new perceptions and experiences that provoke melodic, harmonic, and rhythmic intuition? Embedded. What roles does the DMI in different social cultural environments? Enactive. Which contributions have the DMI to improve the capabilities and actions of the sensory-motor capacity to improvise? Extended. How the DMI can help to facilitate the creative development? The enactive music cognition to improvisation detailed above does not offer a fixed method of assessment. Nevertheless, we hope that it will resonate with a rich pool of ideas and research for DMI designers and musicians.